Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining this workshop on uh, high performance computing in oil and gas. And thank you, Fujitsu and ARM, for sponsoring this event. I think there will be some very, very interesting discussions. There are new technologies that are coming forward that will likely have a significant impact on the capabilities for energy companies to develop and identify resources. So I think hearing from some of the leading technologists and understanding the ways that these technologies are coming to market, how they're being prepared, and how they'll be um, appropriate for our use is going to be very interesting. Thanks for joining. Well, thank you for inviting me. Let me give a brief introduction on current activities in oil and gas using high performance computing as an enabler for us developing new and extending current energy sources. So in the upstream part of our business, the part that explores, develops, and produces oil and gas resources, seismic imaging is still the leading consumer in high performance computing and storage. That's likely to continue because we have ideas that are yet today not practical because of our limits on computing power. We have ideas on how to drive resolution. We have new seismic acquisition technologies that are growing the data volumes. We have algorithms that will increase the accuracy of our calculations. And so continuing to drive the capabilities of HPC is critical for us becoming more effective and more energy efficient. Reservoir simulation is typically the second largest consumer of HPC resources. Demand is growing. Our subsurface experts need to better understand uncertainty. They're generating more models. They are looking for ways to better understand the fluid flows in the reservoir, especially over the length of time that we're producing. And they're actually beginning to have interesting conversations with the seismic guys. It's going to be exciting to see where those conversations will lead us. One thing that has happened because of some of these conversations and because of machine learning becoming practical, we're combining the value of machine learning to better understand the huge data volumes and augment our modeling and simulation efforts. The rest of the company is also learning how critical HPC will be as an enabler. Carbon capture and sequestration leverages much of the subsurface technologies that we've been developing over the last 30 years. And because of higher resolution that will be required to better understand reservoirs that can hold the carbon dioxide in the reservoir for generations, we need to continue to increase our accuracy. Molecular modeling and computational fluid dynamics are leveraging HPC. The downstream businesses in refining and marketing are understanding how we can best simulate the reactions, the processes. The computational fluid dynamics studies are helping us understand physical processes and drive safety as a key component in the core of our business. Progressive companies in energy are going to absolutely recognize how important optimization and modeling will be as we extend into new energy solutions like wind and solar. If you look at some of the trends that are coming, infrastructure-led exploration is going to be the likely path for discovering new resources and extending the life of our significant infrastructure investments. That means that we're going to be looking in complex geologic areas that are close by the producing assets that we have. We're likely to do less wildcat exploration, but these infrastructure-led exploration projects are going to be very high resolution, and they'll likely be repeated over time. Memory bandwidth is going to be absolutely critical in moving the huge data volumes and extracting more floating point performance out of the computers that we deploy. So looking forward, I mean, that's a clear commonality between the seismic, the reservoir simulation, and the machine learning processes that we need to implement. And one of our challenges over the next few years is how do we build the capabilities in computational science and software engineering so that we'll have the skills in our teams to implement new technologies, to work effectively with the computing industry, and continue to lead us forward into the future. Let me stop there. We'll begin the program, but thank you very much for joining us.